We're live or we're on. Good job, John. Thank you.
Negative K, nothing further. Just take care of me in the corner. That's a direct order. Do it now.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We are roll call black, white, and blue for better relations. I'm here with a few of my friends. Got Mark, got Will, got Ty, got AC, got D, got Rich, got Jim, got Cheech, and Derek finally got on. Look at that boy. Before we get started, we're gonna have a moment of silence. Introduction to moment of silence. Derek.
Derek.
What's up? What's up?
What you got going? What you got going on in there, bro?
You just break your computer?
Whole lot of stuff going on by there, but while he try to fix that, Chief, give us our disclaimer and Rich our statement of purpose.
Hey, yes. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started, we wanted to go over a couple of things. First and foremost, we want to let you know that the comments made by members of Roll Call are the opinions of each individual. They are not intended to be legal advice or suggestions of any kind. Remember that the laws change from village to village, city to city, state to state. So if you need legal advice, please consult a local police department or a local attorney. Also, in order to spark our conversations, we do use a lot of videos and photographs, some of which may be graphic in nature. They are not intended to offend anybody. If there is one that may be graphic, a member of our panel will let you know ahead of time so that you can decide on your own if you want to watch it or not. These videos and photographs are not the property of Roll Call. We get them from social media, from like YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and all that good stuff. So you do have access to it. Also, we want to let you know that the language used by our members is very spontaneous. Everybody here speaks their truth. We don't hold back. Sometimes you will see that we don't even agree with each other, but we never take it personal. So please, we hope that you don't take it personal. If and you don't get offended by anything. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, please post them on the chat, and a member of Roll Call will try to get to it. Thank you. Rich?
Thank you, Cheech. Once again, we are Roll Call Black, White, and Blue for Better Relations. We're a pro-law enforcement group. We're for equitable policing. We are against racism. And Black and Brown Lives Matter. This group started to try and bridge the gap between law enforcement and your community and try to add some sense to whether right or wrong or what's going on. And initially started when George Floyd was killed, and we're back in Minnesota again, Minneapolis, with the current problem, Renee Good being killed by ICE agent, and there hasn't been any investigation. So we're on it again, and we're glad you're here with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheech. Thank you so much, Rich. Let us remember that this past Monday we celebrated Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. I don't care what this president has to say about it. We're going to continue to celebrate Dr. King's birthday. I want to say happy anniversary to Mark, Ty, and CJ on what would have been their 39th year with the Hempstead Police Department. And that's only 39 for Mark, but with Hempstead, but he's got much more than that. I don't know how much he has total. I think somewhere around 45, Mark. Is it that high? 43?
Don't be giving my age away, man.
Well, I already did that when I said 39, but
I appreciate it. All right, I'm 41.
41
no,
years. Okay.
I'm 41.
Yeah, okay. But listen, congratulations to Ty, Mark, and CJ for their time with the Hempstead Police. But I don't want to even ask Jim how much time he would have had with the Hempstead Police Department. I want to say congratulations to Cheech and Anna on being grandparents again. This is their first grandchild. And listen, I know they are excited as ever. I know they are. Because we've been there, we've done it twice so far. We're still praying for you and your wife, Cheech, and we're still praying for JT and Orlando. At this time, okay, I'm coming right to you, Maul. Just please be reminded that we are live, and there's been some background noise. Congratulations, hello, and all that stuff going on. I'm gonna try to keep mine down as well. Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, we're also praying for Ursula, Ty's wife.
Ursula, right? We're gonna keep her in our prayers.
You're welcome to stay.
Ty, is she home now? She is home. Yeah, you said she's working from home. That's right.
Yes.
So thank God for that. Listen, and we're still praying for Derek's wife, Deirdre. Her process is a little bit long, so we're still praying for Deirdre and her process. We're praying for all you guys and your families. Pray for my mother-in-law. Keep them in your prayers. I understand that things are getting better. Listen, today we're going to have Will Quick to host us and lead us in our discussion. Now, y'all know last week we got through one topic, but I got so many compliments on that one topic. I really did. I got a lot of compliments, and they were really happy that we spent time on that one topic. So today Will guide us, Will lead us, and we'll follow Will. All right, Will, it's in your hands.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Roll Call Black, White, and Blue for Better Relations. I see on our list here, we're going to give a love to Ruth Caffey and Karen Caffey. They're representing today. Melissa Moss, Isabel Jordan, Beverly Halston Wells, and Harry Morley. Thank you for taking time out your day. We don't take it lightly, and we truly appreciate folks that take time out of their day, want to spend time with us, and have some very good conversation about some real world, real life things. We see Donald Coleman just popped on. So without further ado, D, bring us in.
Okay, our first video is going to take us to a pretty common occurrence, little shoplifting occurrence, and a lot of people always, ask us the way they are. It's because you see just how quick things jump off. Out a couple of, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Just two kids in the back. Police are getting the information. Let's take a look.
I told her not to steal, bro.
You didn't do it, so it wasn't up on her. You watched you walk over and put an item in the bag off the shelf.
Using neighbors, please.
5550. Give me some hands. Now. Don't touch him. Do not touch anything.
I'm not. Don't say that.
That happened really, really, really fast. Welcome to our other other panelists that joined us, Jerry and Dave, and other guests that have joined us, Valerie Marsh, Renee Henderson, Burl McMillian, and Cheech. You're up, man. What are your thoughts on this?
Man, so, we as law enforcement officers, we know that we're always kind of vigilant, well, not kind of, always vigilant and paying attention. But I just want to give props to that security officer, because most security officers are there for a paycheck and aren't really on point and paying attention to their surroundings. Not all, some of them that have experience do. But I just wanted to give props to that security officer who jumped in right away. And luckily that gun did not discharge.
Absolutely. D.
Couple of things. Always teach. Let me see your hands. Right? You hear police officers all the times. This brings the temperature down without you saying or doing a thing. Hands are what hurts people. Guns don't hurt people. Knives don't hurt people. Bazookas don't hurt people unless there's some hands on it. So just keep that in mind. If you ever want to be out of the fray or bring the temperature down, let me see your hands. Just a little context. Simple. Most of us probably have done this at one time. You get a shoplifting call, you go to the Walmart or wherever you are. Shout out to Walmart. And you're in the back room, and all you're doing is processing. You're gonna give them a ticket. This is not a this is nobody's dragging you to the police car, or we're gonna give them a ticket. They're gonna show up and talk about it with the judge. Some places it's what's called a violation. It's not even gonna be on your record. Not a big deal. I'm saying that to say this is why police officers handle every single thing. You say, why they handle it like it's a felony? Because by nothing that anybody did, the gun actually saved that police officer's life. The first one malfunctioned. He didn't know how to, my police officer, tap, rack, bang. He didn't know how to clear it and get it ready. And then he tried to shoot a second time. So that's twice that officer could have been hurt or worse, or lost his life. And just as a conversation, you got to watch when police officers are on the scene. They're watching for everything. They're skittish because this is when officers lose their lives. We think it's a simple thing. It's routine. We use those words, and all of a sudden, we have a whole different situation. And that was a couple of weeks ago. The girl was shoplifting. He wasn't even shoplifting. I just want you to understand that. You wonder why officers are worried about the people on the side. He's not even shoplifting. Technically, he's not even supposed to be in the back. And all of a sudden, this could have been a bad situation. So kudos, to the security guard. They're not usually, it's not their job to jump in there. That's not their job. They're glorified witnesses, I call them. But that's what they're being paid for. They're not being paid to jump in front of bullets. That's Mark's job. I'll let him go with that one. I'm done.
Yeah. So my issue with that was like Dee said, you know, if she was the one shoplifting, why is he even back there? You know, you figured she would have been brought in the back and she would have at least been patted down and make sure she didn't have any weapons. So I was a little befuddled by that. In the beginning, I thought he was also shoplifting. So then I'm wondering, okay, who dropped the ball on at least patting him down and make sure he didn't have a weapon? Or when the officer got there, the officer do it. So I was just a little confused. But you cleared that part up. But now it's like, well, why is that guy even back there? So, but, you know, like Dee also said, these guys, these security guards run into this all the time. And even with police officers, we can't let our guard down. We don't know. You know, this is when we think something's routine, that's where we're at our biggest vulnerability because you just never know. And even with car stops, you know, we make car stops, but you never know who you're stopping. You never know what they have, and you never know what's in their mind as far as getting away. So that's what makes it, even security guards, it makes it a dangerous job. How's it?
You're absolutely right, Mark. Derek, well, D, you had your hand up. I didn't know if you need to make a quick point. Go ahead, D. Go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, I was actually a security guard in a store and a store detective many, many moons ago. And generally, the security guards, they don't really pat people down. So that would normally be something that the officer would do once he got there. But as security, you're really supposed to observe and report. And any enforcement type of procedures, obviously you bring them to the room, but you just simply hold them there for the police officers. So dangerous situation. Anyone that's not directly part of it shouldn't be brought to the back. And even if people are brought to the back together, they should be separated. They shouldn't be sitting there together. But the guy never should have been back there. But the reason that he probably wasn't patted down is because maybe the officer just got there and didn't do it. And that's all that.
Damn. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to jump on with everybody else is, pardon me, saying, but, you know, most of the time, the officer gets there, everybody's already there. You know, the security has done 90% of the paperwork. And let's face it, complacency sets into the cop. They're coming there, like Dee said, they're there to give a ticket out and be on their way. But it's a great training tool for cops to see, is that's the complacency that could have cost you your life. You just went in, made an assumption that the security had everything well in hand, these are the two people, et cetera, and you were writing a ticket or whatever the officer was doing there. And this guy pull out a gun and shoot and kill you just like that, you know, which the training part of it would be when you show up on a scene, do not assume security has this thing well in hand and take it like as if you were first arriving at the scene, you know, for the purpose. Anyway, a good training film, I think.
Absolutely. And we can appreciate the outcome there. I'll make this point real quick, and AC, I'll come to you. Presumably there was a 911 call that went out and this officer was responding. The female was the one that was shoplifting, so I presume that the suspect information that they gave was female. They probably didn't say that there was a male with her because he was not one that the security had considered to be on the investigation. We're dealing in a private setting where they're following right now their organizational protocols. So we would do things differently. Obviously, if we were dealing with two individuals out in public or at the station, as far as keeping them apart, patting them down, all that sort of thing. What really jumped out at me was the awareness of the officer with respect to how many of you all think that happens 99 out of 100 times, the officer doesn't fire. 99 out of 100 times, well, overwhelmingly out of 100 times or 1,000 times that happens, there is a shot fired by the officer. That officer recognized threat, but he also recognized almost immediately that there was someone else in his line of fire, being the security officer, trying to disarm this person. Do you realize how much control that takes to recognize, even though that gun is active and in play, I've got somebody else that's in my line of fire? And so that's where the kudos goes from my perspective, the fact that he did not fire on that young man, and especially the fact that he had no reason to think that young man was even in play other than just being with this young lady. The person that he'd probably be issuing a citation to would be the young lady. So I got mad respect for the way he handled that. AC?
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with everyone else's security, but my experience been with going to store securities as a police officer is that everybody's a suspect. You go back there, they gotta make sure you don't have any merchandise. But then again, I worked at Hempstead when A&S was there, so everyone was a suspect. And that being said, Connor wasn't a threat to him, even though Connor had a gun.
AC, everybody, including the security guard, was suspects, right?
Yeah, but but the police officer, Connor wasn't a threat to the police officer, even though Connor had a gun.
You talking about the young man that had the gun? He wasn't the perceived threat because he wasn't the one that was probably called in as the offender.
Because that young white guy there wasn't ominous
I get your point. I got your point.
He wasn't scary.
I'm feeling you.
He was dangerous, but not scary.
I'm feeling you. Okay, we here now.
He wasn't menacing. He wasn't menacing.
I got you. He didn't present as an immediate threat upon walking in the room.
Yeah, it was Jim's second cousin.
Now see,
I got it as well.
Any other thoughts on this video? All right, let's clap it up because we get ready to go into video number 2.
Yeah, we got through more than one today.
No horses were injured.
All right, as you guys know, in the on the news, what's going on in America, ICE's authority has been expanded. They're giving out memos now that normally most of us had a right to privacy in our homes. I didn't mean to do that. Hit the wrong button.
I was going to say, you really want to get this point out. You talking and raise your hand.
ICE has expanded its authority. Think about the Fourth Amendment. They're not supposed to be able to come in your house. And now they're just kicking down the doors. And that's because ICE has expanded their authority. We'll explain it a little more. But let's just take a look at what they're doing.
A leaked memo reveals sweeping new powers being given to federal immigration officers, including the authority to forcibly enter homes without a warrant signed by a judge. Legal experts warn that policy could amount to a violation of constitutional protections against unreasonable searches. KTLA's Omar Lewis in Hollywood with more on this. Omar, good morning.
Good morning, Frank. Yeah, the ICE memo surfacing through a whistleblower disclosure delivered directly to U.S. senators, and it's now raising questions about violations to the U.S. Constitution and whether immigration officers can forcibly enter someone's home without a warrant signed by a judge. Meanwhile, this morning, DHS is defending the use of these administrative warrants during immigration enforcement. We can take you to the video this morning and tell you more about this ICE memo internally that is obtained by the Associated Press, marking a major shift in guidance on home arrests. It instructs officers that an administrative warrant, specifically a final order of removal, can be enough to enter a private residence using force if necessary, even without a warrant signed by a judge. This directive, reportedly dated May 12, 2025, and attributed to acting ICE Director Todd Lyons, reverses years of guidance limiting the authority of officers based on constitutional guarantees against government overreach. It's now drawing criticism from legal advocates and a defense from DHS. While DHS says people served with these administrative warrants have already had due process and a final order of removal, civil liberties advocates are warning it collides with long-standing Fourth Amendment protections.
There's a clear distinction between a private and public setting. In public, you can be arrested with just an administrative warrant signed by an ICE official or supervisor. But in your home or any other private setting, the Fourth Amendment requires more. It requires a warrant signed by a neutral and detached judge that has nothing to do with DHS. If DHS implements this new procedure, what will happen is those arrests will be challenged as an unlawful search and seizure under the Fourth Amendment.
In a recent Minneapolis raid where agents used force to enter a home with only an administrative warrant, a federal judge in Minnesota ordered the release of the man arrested in that raid, saying agents violated his Fourth Amendment rights. The memo itself has not been widely shared within the agency, according to that whistleblower complaint, but its contents have been used to train new ICE officers who are being deployed into cities and towns to implement the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. And back out here live, DHS is defending the use of these administrative warrants, saying they are legal. Again, that whistleblower group who brought this memo forward, they're now asking lawmakers to investigate its contents. That is the latest for now here at Live.
His hands are lighting up the screen like Christmas trees. All right, you all, there's a lot of people we want to get through, so let's keep that in mind. Okay, one just dropped off, so I'm gonna go with the first one I got up here. Mark?
Yeah, so the fact that that power was given to them on the sneak tip, and I'll say it that way, is crazy. The fact that these guys have more power than the police, it's crazy. It's scary times. You have guys with such power that they can just bust in your house, and you have to, as a homeowner sitting there watching television or doing whatever, you have to get locked up, go to court, and then hope you could win the case. And then if they say, oh, okay, it was a mistake, you still spent how much time being incarcerated, how much money getting a lawyer. It's really scary times. And suppose these untrained guys get the wrong address. Now they come busting up into a house, and if it's people who have guns, and it doesn't have to be law enforcement, it's going to be a shootout. And then the guy gets killed, and then later on they found out, oh, we were at the wrong house. But yet you got a dead body. I mean, it happens to the police occasionally, but with this group, it's going to happen more often.
You're right. It's just
we might all want to move to Greenland.
But you got a point, Mark. With things going like this, it's just a matter of time before worst case scenario. We're already a country that wants to uphold and promote Second Amendment rights and trying to get everybody to have a gun. Well, when you get somebody coming through your front door in that manner and they weren't invited, Lead is on the menu.
But what the problem though is even the police responding, hopefully to help you, the police are outgunned. You in your house probably are going to be outgunned. You got 10 guys busted in your house. Even if you got that bad shotgun that carries 20 rounds, guess what? You're still in trouble. They're dressed for bear. You know, they have the heavy duty. Their bulletproof vests are much heavier than the ones that the officers carry. So you're outgunned, you're outmanned, and they have the armor. It's worst case scenario. I mean, it's as close to Germany back in the day than it ever was before.
Yeah.
I'll
True.
take my chances with Greenland for right now. At least they're fighting back. Our government isn't.
I'm thinking Baja Peninsula. Ty, what's up?
I thought David Kennard was next. It's me?
I did. Oh,
It's me. I'm next. Okay, so Jim, I'm going to say it again. This is just the next move in the movement to create the opportunity for martial law. What everybody is saying is going to happen is inevitable now. Because you're going to come through that front door, and I know that I'm an American. You have no reason to be in my house. You have no reason to be at my door. And I don't mean me per se. I mean a person like me. And it's going to be shots fired. And when that happens, because right now, the movement is not moving fast enough. November will be here any minute. You blink your eyes, it'll be July. And the powers that be knows that. And the closer we get to that time, the less time they have to invoke the ultimate plan. And the ultimate plan is the martial law. And this is one more step, because they already killed somebody in the middle of the street. That didn't work. All right. They want people to lose it and just start attacking and going against it. So they can say, see now, and you notice how it's only in Minnesota too? Isn't that Governor Walz's state?
it is.
People are blind for the trees if they don't see what's going on. So this is one more step, Jim, in the plan we've been saying for the last, 3 years? We talk about martial law now. We talk about martial law 3 or 4 years. And I think this is just one more step to try to get that ball moved further down the road, because it's not working as fast. That's what I believe.
You made a good point about the fact that it's happening in Minnesota, but I do believe that's strategic, because probably the most outrageous use of force that they've done thus far has happened in Minnesota, and they have been unable to provoke the type of response. So that's the wound that is hurting the most right now. And if they can keep pressure on that wound and not let it even start moving potentially towards healing, then you're only getting people more riled up. And I see where Richard Bowden has said that's going to get some ICE agents unalived. And whether they want to acknowledge it or not, it only takes one to actually be a car. That's going to be questionable, because we're already talking about that. But when you fire a gun in the direction of an ICE officer, that's going to be it. And if it hits the officer or worse, unbelievable. All right, we got Rich, Jim, Dave, Derek, D, Jerry. Rich, what's up?
I think the order's off.
It is? I'm sorry. I'm going
Dave,
by what's up.
Dave and Jim were before me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Dave, then Jim. Dave, you can take that scowl off your face. That was on me.
Wait a minute. It actually should be D first.
Okay.
Okay. It's all off. I don't know what happened, but go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead with Dave.
Since this will be your first time, go ahead and give it to us, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot of people dying and a whole lot of lying, because ICE agents gonna die, regular citizens gonna die, people who are actually criminals gonna die, and ICE agents do not carry body cameras, so they're gonna be lying. So It's just going to be a lot of death and destruction, man. And besides, we still don't know the backgrounds of these ICE agents. A lot of them are former Proud Boy members and Oath Keepers. Some of them are insurrectionists from January 6th. So they're happy to go in somebody's house and start lighting people's asses up. But they're going to get lit up in return, too. And, look what they're doing in Minnesota, man. Those off-duty black cops are getting stopped. Cars cut off in traffic. And come to find out they're off-duty black police officers. I'm surprised they didn't open up on their ass and walking up on them, cutting them off, and walking up on them with a mask.
Yeah.
You forgot about that. They were pulling. The police chief came on TV saying his black and brown officers are getting stopped by ICE off duty. Cars cut off in traffic. Come on. Some masked fucking clown fat fuck comes up to you with a fucking gun pointing at you. You off duty cop? What you gonna do? Nobody. I mean, come on. What are they waiting for? It's gonna happen. It's gonna be a whole bunch of Breonna Taylor cases. You'll see. I'm done.
My bad. I had to step away for a second. Y'all help me out. The order I got right now is Jim's next. Who's next?
I think it was Mark and Jim, but
Mark then Jim.
Okay, Mark then Jim.
No, I went already.
Okay, I'm sorry. Rich.
It's Jim and then me. It's Jim.
Okay.
What about
you? Appreciate
it. I think we're going to have to get a new moderator here.
and that may be the case. I'm actually splitting time because I'm over at my aunt's and I got somebody get ready to come through to do some work.
To give us numbers like in a supermarket.
Listen.
So anyway, I got just 3 quick points on this particular case where they're allowed to go in without warrants and all that. None of it surprises me, but the first thing is, what does it matter if it's against the Constitution? They're going to do it anyway. And that's one of the first things I say. Oh, it's a violation of the Constitution. Okay, who is going to enforce it? Where's the enforcement agency going to say, hey, you can't do that? So that's useless. The second thing is that popped right at me as that, oh, you could take it to court. Well, do you tell that to the guy that's taken out and deported to El Salvador? When does he get his court case to take that illegal search to court? He doesn't, because there is no court case. So that's out the window. And the third thing was police response. The police are not going to touch ICE under any conditions whatsoever. And I know that firsthand right here. Nassau County Police, they have a cooperative agreement with them. Yep. Nassau County Police are going to go in with them. So don't expect the local police to help anybody out here. So we're in terrible times, and I totally agree with Ty, and he's right. We've been saying it for the longest time. This is all just steps to have total control over law enforcement nationwide. It's 1930s Germany, fellas. It really is. It really is. That's all. I don't want to take any more time.
Okay. I see your hand, Mark. I just want to say real quick to our audience, please understand, we are not advocating a response to ICE with force. We are merely expressing that, particularly in this country and in the current climate, when you start going into people's houses and start violating people's rights, it's only a matter of time before they match energy. It's only a matter of time. Mark, I saw you waved your hand, and then we'll go to Rich.
Jim, where were you last week when I was trying to make that point? Cops ain't going to lock up ICE. And we got into this big discussion, and then you pop up and say the same thing and get applauded. Like, what's up with that? But that's what I was trying to say. And you can't expect, think about this right now. If that hadn't gotten leaked out and you, Officer A, decide you're going to do something against an ICE officer because he kicked the house in, and illegally went in as we thought. And then later on, we found out, oh no, they were given power to go into that house. Not only will you lose your job and your pension and your house and everything else, and even if later on it's deemed that it was illegal, it's going to be so far down the road. And guess what? At the time, because of the way the justice system now, you still probably won't, because it'll be almost like, remember the law where if you shoot somebody who's dead, it's still murder because your intent was to kill somebody. And even though the body was already dead, okay, it's still murder.
Well, I stand defensively on what I said, Marcus. I said it isn't what they do, and I think this is where the conversation morphed. It's what they should do. And the argument went, well, maybe they shouldn't. And then Will got into it. We all were talking about, I know they're not going to do it, but my argument is they damn well should.
That's it.
The problem, as you see, is the judicial system that we once knew is gone.
You're right.
Even the Constitution, it's gone. MAGA will fight for your right to keep weapons, but all that other stuff, now you got one, be happy you got one. And one more thing, I don't want to hold everybody up. What happens when the criminals start dressing like the ICE guys and start coming into homes doing robberies? Because that's only around the corner.
Got a point. Rich.
Yeah, good afternoon. We've reached a point of government lawlessness, where, no court ruling, the Constitution, whatever your Fourth Amendment doesn't matter. They've been given this power to override everything. And there's no check and balance. There's no oversight by Congress. Congress is more concerned about bringing the Clintons in, over the Epstein case, or bringing in Jack Smith, and questioning him over and over again, where he did a great job, getting the evidence on Trump and his crimes. So this is the lawless state of government that we're dealing with now. You're not safe. You're not even protected in your home. And this is the whole plan. The plan is to have some conflict between ICE and someone in the home. An ICE agent gets killed. They want to bring in the troops. The troops are ready to go in. I mean, the police to begin with have been in control, and they haven't shown that they can't do their job. So you bring in ICE, and then on top of that, you want to bring in troops that don't know how to deal with the public. So you keep adding these ingredients of arms, law enforcement, troops. Eventually, it's a powder keg that's going to explode. And like you said, the focus is martial law, locking that city, that state down, and whatever other blue cities they want to lock down. So Trump could stay in power and control everything and everybody, slap his name on every building, tarnish our name with his name globally, nationally. We're in trouble. And there's no one to help us. There's no Superman. Nobody has the power to control the lawlessness. We're not getting back to regular order. And it's a travesty, because I myself, and I'm sure with others on the panel here, I love my country. I served my country in the military for nearly a decade. So it hurts me to see how far down the rabbit hole of lawlessness the government has gone to. And then being a police officer, retired, and you're seeing that policing has taken a backseat to government lawlessness, and people are being hurt behind it. And that's why I say about this Renee Good case, Minnesota needs to put the case on to prosecute the ICE agent, to investigate whatever they got information, put the case on.
Because if they put the case on, even in absence, if they're hiding this guy wherever they're hiding him, you can still put the case on, have a jury of his peers, possibly find him guilty, because that second and third shot to me was definitely a crime. So, and we all know that. We can see it with our eyes. I think they have enough evidence to put that case on. The county has the body. In the coroner's report, the autopsy will show the second shot and third were kill shots. You got them because the vehicle already passed them. They want to hide this and not investigate this. They got rid of the civil rights division, because they normally investigate this kind of case. So they've gotten rid of that. So this is the state of lawlessness we're dealing with in government. And they, like I said, Minnesota's got to step up and put that case on. And once that happens, they can petition the court for the evidence they don't have. And we'll leave it for the court to say they can't get it. That's what has to be done. And that's the focal point in Minnesota. I wish they would take up and get it going, because we can't let this go. Just like we didn't let George Floyd murderer go. That cop murdered him. He was convicted. Okay? We saw the video. There was enough evidence right there, to see what happened. He would not get off George Floyd's neck. And so with Renee Good, as we can see, even as police officer, the average citizen can see, that officer was not in danger when he took the second and third shot. So I'm reemphasizing this because it's a gross crime that's being covered up by the federal government. And I hate seeing this. We need justice for her and anybody else that's victim of the lawlessness in government. That's my take. Thank you.
Oh, AC, can you pick up for me for just a second? I need to step away, please.
Y'all mute AC. Mute. Unmute.
My list is messed up as Will's was.
All right, I got you. Hey, Derek, you're up next, Derek. I got you.
Yep.
Yes, I just wanted to say that this rule or policy that the federal government, as far as these ICE agents or Border Patrol agents have come up with, is one of the most dangerous things that has occurred in our lifetime. Basically, it seems to me as though they are willing to sacrifice an ICE agent or several ICE agents so that martial law can occur. Because, I mean, I know, we've talked about, regular burglars or bad guys could dress up as ICE agents and come in your house. Whether it's a bad guy, whether it's an ICE agent, anyone that is breaking into your house that is masked is ultimately, and maybe not by every household, but by some households, they're going to be met with severe force, and someone's gonna die, and it's not just going to be civilians. There's going to be ICE agents that are sacrificed in this. It's something that shouldn't be done. It's something that they know is dangerous. It's something that they know is risking the lives of ICE agents, and they're willing to do it anyway. And I know they wear serious gear and all of that, but you get hit with a shotgun slug or some double-aught buck from 15 feet away. I don't care what you're wearing. You may survive it, but you're not going to still be standing. You're going to be down on the ground trying to get some air in your lungs or wherever you got shot. Hopefully no one gets shot in the face or anything like that, but it is a dangerous, dangerous proposition to think that it's wise to allow ICE agents to break into someone's home over an administrative warrant. And that's even if they have the administrative warrant, because we know they're not adhering to the law just by the way we see them enforcing things already. And if they have an administrative warrant, that doesn't mean they go into the right house. It's dangerous. I hope that they back off of it, but if they don't, it's going to be really, really dangerous for all involved. And that's all I have.
Yeah, Derek, I agree. Hey, Jerry, you go next, and I'm going to button it up.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say one thing. I'm the only civilian. I don't have none of y'all police background, none of it. I know I'm common sense girl here. And I was extremely alarmed about the fact I was raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Yesterday, I saw a notice that Fort Bragg has been called out to go to Minnesota to help out with all the crazy. They sent in our military into Minnesota to help with ICE and the crazy nonsense these people are doing. A whole lot of people going to be hurt for real. A whole lot of people going, y'all say unalive. A whole lot's going to happen that's not okay, not okay. And the fact that they could because I told you guys a story involving me where cops and firemen showed up at my house and I was like, because my alarm went off. Can you imagine them breaking and I'm here by myself in my house and they're going to say, we heard you speak in Spanish. And I was like, well, I actually spoke French, not Spanish, but broken. And they decided I'm going to come there. My house is the one they're going to pull up in and oops, they did mean to go to my neighbor next door. And now this is crazy. And it goes right along with all of it. And I know y'all not talking about this right now, but that man that's in the house and the dumb, stupid stuff that he's doing these days, we are beyond the hanging people from trees. It's crazy. I'm very concerned about the fact that Fort Bragg officers are on hold and about to be dispatched to Minnesota. It's not okay. It's not okay. That's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something really, really quick, just to give a point of reference, because we were talking about these administrative warrants, and just for our listening public, you don't get a warrant in your hand and you just go kick somebody's door down. Okay, I just want to make that clear. That is nothing. That's not the proper way to do it. When you're serving a warrant, you have to step before a judge first. You tell him what you have. You give him all the information. You give him building permits. You give him the schematic. You have somebody out there sitting on the house right now. You watch the guy going in and out of the house that you want. All of these things have to come into play before the judge says, okay, you can go into this person's house. And no, you can't just go into this person's house willy-nilly and start dragging people out. You are singular in your effort and what you can do when you're in there. Now, this is what people don't know, and I try to explain this. After you're done doing all this foolishness, you got to go back before that same judge that you just swore that this was the only thing you're going to do and tell him what you did. If you did something other than that, he holds you accountable. That's not what they're doing. I wanted to start saying that this is all bullshit. I hope everybody knows. Let's stop acting like anything makes sense, anybody's telling the truth, and it's not all bullshit. They're trying to create a situation to do what they want to do. Let's not get in an uproar. I know bullshit when I hear it. They tried to tell me, so some lady on TV tried to tell me yesterday that Iceland was green and Greenland was icy. What in the world? Oh, you really think I'm that stupid? We realize what's going on. The bad thing is, I think Don was talking about it last week or the week before. It's got to get really, really bad. And somebody's got to do something really, really serious before we turn it around. But what I do want to do, anybody listening, stop getting so upset. I'm going to help you out. They're full of ish. They're lying to you. They're trying to get rich, and they're trying to do it at your expense. Now I agree with Derek wholeheartedly. I lived a good 63. You can come here if you want. I've been saying this for 40 years. I've been law enforcement. You can come up here if you want. I'm good. I'm ready. I'm gonna take a few of y'all with me. Okay. You can have an administrative whatever and kick in. You're going to have problems, and there's going to be more and more people that are going to get tired of it. We have a video later of the Black Panthers. People going to get tired. People going to start raising up. I see AC. People going to start raising up. And then you're going to have, we already have anarchy. If y'all can be anarchists, why can't I? Right? Y'all shooting, why can't I? You want to go into somebody's door? Why can't I? You got churn too. I know that's for you North Carolina guys. You got churn. You know, so we got. I get so absurd. I'm flipping through because I find content for us. And why are we getting so upset at these fools? Y'all lying. Y'all are full of it. I turn the channel. Let's find something entertaining. Let's find something to talk about. But the people are going to rise up. And then you're going to have a whole world of hurt on your hands. AC, what did you have?
Clarification needed. A warrant, what we refer to in police work, is a judicial warrant, where the person or evidence is very singular. They look for that specific person or items, or what else they may find in the process. Or look for that. Administrative warrant, is that like a standing order, or is that for a specific incident or person?
It's what they're using for their singular purpose. You see what I'm saying? ICE only has one purpose, y'all. I know Will's gonna get technical on us, but I just want to be clear. ICE only has one purpose. I worked with ICE. ATF only has one purpose. The U.S. Marshals only have one purpose. DEA, I just had to do that, only has one purpose. The problem is they're using these terms, and thank you, Will, you're going to help me out, and they're trying to make them, admit, you only got one purpose. I don't care what kind of warrant you have. I don't care what kind of warrant, because if you get anything else, they got to come to Hempstead. They got to come to Nassau. They got to go to the city. You understand? They don't just have police carte blanche. They're not police. I don't know why. Please read your CPL, y'all. They're not police. Go ahead, Will. I'm sorry. I'm gonna throw it back to you.
No. To the point that you made, D, and correct me, please, if I'm wrong, because you might be our most experienced task force guy. When federal agents get involved or bring in task force, they do so to not only bring in local experience to give them a better understanding of the environment that they're going into, but it also expands locals' authority to federal, but it gives them a local inroads to do state things.
Absolutely.
So that's why they do task force. Now, I've had in 2007, administrative warrants may have always been out there, but back around 2007, give or take, they started putting administrative warrants into NCIC, which we all know that's the National Criminal Database for wanted individuals. Again, administrative is not criminal. It is tantamount to civil, meaning that someone is in violation of some sort of guideline that otherwise would not be criminalized unless you were specifically notified that this is the guideline. And if you violate, then your violation becomes criminal. But these administrative warrants, they started entering them NCIC to utilize local law enforcement as an extension, because they don't go into neighborhoods and know the communities. So using local law enforcement to do their legwork, when we come in contact with somebody and we run a check and there's an NCIC hit. And the reason why I know this is because the department I was working for was prepared to hold me out there, because one of our officers stopped the car. The gentleman had an administrative warrant, entered an NCIC. Y'all know the NCIC process. You contact the agency that entered it, confirm that they want them. You go before the magistrate. They're held on a fugitive warrant. D, am I still on the right track?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Cooking.
So now you got this person in there on an NCIC warrant on an administrative violation that's not criminal, but they've utilized local law enforcement. By all outward appearances, we just violate this person's rights. So then when they go before a judge and the judge says, well, what are your charges? Well, I don't have any charges. I just stopped this person, issued them a citation. They're like, well, this warrant says administrative. There's no criminal charge here. Judge, you're right. It was entered NCIC. The judge releases them as they should, because this is a state judge that is not authorized to enforce federal law. And it is not a warrant based off of reasonable suspicion, probable cause, and judicial process. And that's where we have a problem right here, right now. Mark?
Yeah, you're right, and you're definitely on point. The only difference sometimes would be the local police would take charge of the person, and then ICE would show up and take custody, and then the officer's hands are cleared. But yes, you are 100% right when they're utilizing the police officer basically to be like the dogs in the hunt. You hunt them down and tree them, and then we'll come get them.
And you're right, Mark, but being that you all worked in more metropolitan areas, you might have had ICE officers at the ready. Down here in North Carolina, where we didn't necessarily have them at the ready, they were going before a judicial official before they could get here to accommodate, and they were getting mad with the judges because the judges weren't holding them on that administrative warrant. Let me jump over to a couple of comments real quick. Kyle says, and she's right, lots of doom and gloom here and out there. At Rich, it's good to hear someone offer some resistance via a criminal prosecution and absentia if necessary. Kyle dropping these words on us, y'all. For the people of Minnesota and those of us who still believe in a democratic republic. Amen to that. Richard Bowden, I'm feeling your response here, Richard. I don't know if we're seeing eye to eye, but those airborne soldiers that were mentioned from Fort Bragg will do the right thing if they go to Minnesota. Airborne soldiers have a very good history in dealing with civil operations. They will be advised by civil affairs. I don't know if I can go with you on this one, Richard Bowden. I don't know, but I respect your position. I respect your point. So anybody else got any more? Okay,
Can I respond to Bowden real quick?
Let me catch Ty's hand real quick, Dave, and then I'm coming back to you.
Hey, Richard Bowden, I don't care. They shouldn't be there, period. I don't care how good they are. I'm just going to respect whatever. Keep your Army A on the Army base and let the law enforcement handle law enforcement. Plain cut and dry. Okay, go ahead, Dave. My bad. Had to get it out.
Dave. Yeah, same thing, man. U.S. soldiers, troops, do not belong on American streets. They're not law enforcement, period. This ain't Russia. This ain't Hungary. This ain't none of that. This is the United States of America. And they ain't going to do shit. They're going to take a fucking order with an M16 in their fucking hands. And it's going to be a problem. Okay? Stop with that bullshit. Okay? Like they're going to come in there and do. They're going to take every fucking order they get. Okay? If they're not going to take the damn order, then why are they killing them goddamn people down there? Why are they killing them damn people down there in the Caribbean Sea, claiming they have drugs, bringing them to America? That shit's illegal too. They still took the order. Huh.
Wasn't there a whole conversation about, wasn't there a whole conversation about not abiding an unlawful order where there's this whole kit and caboodle where my man is saying, oh, you got to do? I mean, come on, y'all. Fort Bragg being sent to Minnesota, that's not okay, y'all. I'm sorry, Mr. Biden. What's his name? Bowden. It's not okay. Mr. Biden. It's not.
It's fucking truth up here from down there. Come
What's
on,
up,
man. Stop. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, Don.
Okay, I thought I froze up. Yeah, I'm with you guys. The military should not be enforcing those laws on American soil. That's just how I feel about it. Especially for someone's ego to be bloated. You know, that's all it is. It's just an ego tripping thing, and he's trying to let the states know that he's even in charge of them. So that's what this thing goes this thing goes far beyond what we can even imagine. You know, if he gets the states to stop doing what they're supposed to do, then he has a total monopoly over everything. And so I don't trust him at all. I don't think military should be used, and I support our military. I mean, I really do. I support our military, but I don't think they should be used against American people.
So, well, I'm sorry, bro.
Now, what you got?
The problem is this. Our leader is not smart enough to do all this. He's not doing any of this. It's not his ideas, not his concepts, not his strategies. This is strategies of the people below him. Stephen Miller, I want to say, whoever, that these are his idealisms, and he's pumping it to him and letting him do the talking to make him feel like he is. But that's all that is. So we can stop blaming him any day now. He has no idea about the 25th Amendment. He has no idea about none of that. He has no idea about any of that stuff. He doesn't know. He's never read the Constitution, bro. Never. So I mean, the sooner people are able to separate what's really happening, I think even both sides, the other side of the aisle, if they'll get their heads out of their asses long enough to do it, will realize also what's going on. It's just it's a slippery slope. I can't wait till it affects them, because that's coming too, right, Mark? That's coming too.
Funny you say that, Ty, because I was just about to say it. I hit unmute, and then when you said it, I said I put it back to mute.
Any other thoughts? If not, we're gonna clap it up again because we're going to number 3, y'all.
All right. Last week we spoke about the training, right? I mean, it's all a joke. So let's have a little fun with the training. I said 8 weeks because that's what I understood it was, and then I heard something this week that blew me out of my seat. The ICE agents now, their training is 47 days. Now, last week we had a video queued up for you guys where a woman who knew she shouldn't be anywhere near ice, she didn't even put ice in her drink, but she said, let me sign up and see, and they accepted her. Look at what they're doing now. Take a look.
The border being as open as it was under Biden was one of the reasons Trump got elected. But the idea...
So you're glad it's closed now?
Do I think we ought to not have a fully open border? Absolutely. I've said that all along.
So with the 12 million that came in, what do we do?
The question I have for you is closing the border versus sending out ICE agents across the country to randomly pick up people based on quotas that have committed no crime.
How did Obama deport 5 million?
Done at the border. I think it was a lot of that was done at the border.
They were sent back.
And the truth is, I don't think the American people signed up for this, where you see people who are working. There ought to be a path towards legality. We've worked on that. We've screwed that up, immigration reform, for years, both sides. But the idea that we're going to send in these ICE agents, by the way, Joe, do you realize ICE used to take 5 to 6 months to get trained? They've now lowered the training period to 47 days. Why 47 days? Because Donald Trump's the 47th president. Tell me that's a rational approach.
I'm not obviously I'm not going to take that bait and say it's a rational approach, but
Joe, you can't pick your facts.
Senator, at this point, there's 12 million people that are not supposed to be here. And why did that? Why was the border open? You said, oh, it shouldn't have been, and you kind of
it was
pun
the same.
on it.
It was for decades under Bush, Obama.
Nothing like during the Biden administration, obviously. Why? What was the rationale for that? And I have seen a lot of your comments about people didn't vote for this. I don't think, obviously, Democrats didn't have a good idea what people were voting for, or you wouldn't have lost the presidency in 7 swing states and the Senate and the House. So you don't know what people were voting for. They were voting for this.
And we'll see what happens in 26 when people's costs are not going down.
47 days. 40. Can I go first? I'm sorry, Don. I don't want to jump you, but 47 days. Let me tell you what the state police. We didn't even get our uniform until 65 days. I want you to. We're in the academy. We're getting beat up and trained, and you don't even get a uniform. You're doing push-ups in your own suit at 47 days.
We didn't get our shield for 3 months, 4 months. We didn't get our shield. We didn't even get a shield.
Right, you don't get the shield till 6.5 months. Yeah. 47 days.
because he's the 47th president.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, think about that woman who said to herself, I'm just gonna do this for fun. And they said, come on down, take a check. she said, I just signed up just to see how far I would go. This is how ridiculous it is. And we say that to say, look who is coming through that door. 47 days.
Yeah.
Look who's coming through your door. Look who's putting their hands on you in your car. 47 days. I don't know about y'all. I got a problem with that.
Reed. Don?
Yeah, I don't know how my hand got up, so I'm just gonna keep on going and let Mark and Derek go.
Okay. So the 47 days is actually a long time. With police officers, we have a lot of liability. We have a lot of regulations that we have to learn. When you have a group of guys that have free reign to do whatever they want to do with no accountability, do you really need that much time? When they're told, hey, guys, your target, first of all, you have a quota. Nobody really thinks about that. But police officers, we can't have quotas. We're not supposed to have quotas, but they have a quota. Right. And they're told by the top man at the top, listen, you guys aren't active enough. Do whatever you can to grab people. How much training do you need? You don't need a lot of training. Go out there. And what did he say the other day? Oh, well, they do a tough job. They're going to make mistakes. Someone dying is a mistake? Are you kidding me? But we'll get at, you know what? We're going to make sure that nobody prosecutes these people. They made a mistake. I mean, are you serious? And I'm making it's not a funny situation. I'm making a joke out of it, obviously. They don't need that much training. It's like just telling a group of guys, hey, you guys know what to do. Go out there and get them, and we'll cover for you. No, don't worry about liability. We'll cover you. I'm done.
And in that respect, Mark, you're right. You don't need that much training. Oddly reminiscent of slave patrols. That's what it reminds me of. Derek?
Yeah, and the 47 days thing is the current topic, but there was so much more. Her interview was only 6 minutes long. Her interview was 6 minutes long. They told her that after the interview, they were giving her, I think a week to produce documentation stating that she hadn't been involved in any domestic incidents in the last 2 or 3 years, whatever it was, but she had a week to produce the documents, and she was supposed to take a Dole test. She never produced the documents. She never took the drug test. And a couple of weeks later, she looks on their website and sees that she's hired. So you have that going on before they even get to the 47 days of training. You have people that are getting interviewed for less than 10 minutes, 6 minutes, she said hers was, no drug test, and you're not producing proof that you aren't a criminal. And then you're only being trained for 47 days or not trained for 47 days. It's scary. That's all I have.
So let's let this sink in. From my perspective, one little fella, well, kind of little. You go so far as to put this out to recruit these individuals into your organization. You presume that anybody that would apply would already co-sign on the foolishness that you're doing out there. Matter of fact, they want to get in on that because this is what I believe. This is what's supposed to be happening. So that's why they don't do any background checking, because they presume that everybody that puts in the application is like-minded like them. And the fact that so many people are signing up, kind of to the point that someone else made, that this really isn't an issue of the person sitting in the catbird seat. I can't say I completely go along with that, but it points to 70+ million people who voted for this person in this administration, they knew what they were getting when he got into office. And as long as none of the stuff that was popping off fell into their lap, everything was cool. Now I'm gonna circle back real quick where we talked about the leadership component. And Mark, I understand where you're coming from. Jim, I understand where you're coming from, but it's about not necessarily whether or not they'll do it, but what the right thing is to do. Now, we had a chief step out just this week up there in Minnesota when one of his officers got stopped. And it wasn't until she presented her credentials that they cut her loose. But she's not the first officer. There was the gentleman, the black male that was from African country that they investigated and they accused the agency of hiring him when he wasn't a citizen. But she actually got stopped and showed her credentials. And now this chief wants to act like it's an issue for him. And that's the point that I made last week. He's got other chiefs behind him. I said, if I'm a citizen in Minnesota and the only time you decide you want to step up was when one of your officers gets plucked and you took an oath to protect and serve all of us. Not only that, you took that oath as the leader of the people who were supposed to protect and serve us. And now all of a sudden you got your panties in a bunch because one of your officers got plucked. And we've been dealing with this for weeks, months. Bruh, I'm feeling the type of way. I'm coming to you, Rich. Let me hit Richard Bowden's comment. We had talked about the soldiers. He says the airborne soldiers aren't from Bragg. They are from the 11th Airborne based out of Alaska. The Army went to Little Rock to integrate the high school. My father was in a unit activated for the purpose to control the DC riots in the 60s. ICE doesn't want to mess with airborne troops. They probably don't, Mr. Bowden. The question is, are those troops there to assist ICE or to protect the people? That's the question. Rich, what you got?
Yeah, real quick. What I've been noticing watching the video of their operations, that the guys who have the ERO designation on their uniform, on their vest, those are the what is it? The enforcement of removal operations for ERO. Those guys are the heavy-handed guys that just act, and they don't care about law. As soon as they roll up on you, they're busting a window on both sides of your car. These guys are the guys that are just like, they depend on them just to do all the rough housing and extracting and taking people down hard, slamming them to the ground. I mean, I watched a video the other day where they were doing a pit maneuver on a father with his son in the car, and the son was a U.S. citizen. I'm not sure about the father's status, but they were doing a pit maneuver. So I mean, is it that serious that we got to do a pit maneuver? ERO, these federal agents got to do a pit maneuver on a father driving his son from school, possibly in this pit maneuver causing him to be
pit removal is
unalive.
what? What is pit removal, Rich? Please help me. I don't know.
Not pit removal. It's a pit maneuver. What happens is you come up on the back of the vehicle, and you use the law enforcement vehicle to hit the back of the suspect car, which flips it out of control. So it makes it flip around to stop the pursuit. That's a pursuit tactic. So the pursuing officer will ram the back end of the suspect vehicle to spin it out of service. So the pursuit ends with that. But I'm saying they're using this tactic on an immigration issue where nobody's being harmed. It's not, exigent circumstance that we got to knock this van out of commission with a kid in the car. How far are we going to go? But mark my words, this is just something I noticed. These ERO guys, the guys that, because they're not properly labeled sometimes, but I notice a lot of the enforcement is the ERO. And I'm keeping an eye on this. And you guys, if you watch the videos, you'll see that. But we've gone too far and there's no control. And I don't know what you go back to the National Guard being called in because we're talking about that. Bringing troops in to Minnesota for what? What is the reason to bring them in? What has been done that ICE hasn't handled, or local police hasn't handled, that now the troops have to be brought in against the will of the governor, against the will of the state? What? I mean, can they just do that willy-nilly with no reason at all? Can troops be put into states now, into blue cities, without any reason at all? Is that where we're at?
Insurrection Act. What year was that? That's why they reached back as far for the Insurrection Act. And now they are categorizing virtually anything that doesn't line up with what they want to do as being an insurrectionist. Unless, of course, you were January 6th. Then, of course, it was all free love. It was Woodstock back then. But there was a House committee interview where the representative was interviewing a guy and asking him questions. When you want to talk about terrorist organizations, he asked him about the designation of terrorist organization with Antifa. He said, where are they based at? How many of them are there? Where's the funding coming from? And the dude sitting up there twiddling his thumbs, and I'm being polite when I say that, and he can't answer these questions. Well, what's your basis for labeling them as a terrorist organization? And the dude, now this is the second in charge of the FBI. He was like, my point exactly. Mark?
Yeah, two things. Yeah, I didn't, Jerry, where did you hear? Because I did hear they were coming from Alaska, not Fort Bragg. So I was curious where you heard Fort Bragg. And I figured since you're down in, well, you have family
I'm
down
in Jersey now.
Yeah,
Fort
but you have
Bragg
family
scares
down there.
me. It was
I
just
figured you knew something we didn't.
It was on the news, boo-boo, yesterday.
All right,
It
I didn't
was.
hear. I did hear Alaska as well. The one thing
They
I
said
did want,
Fort Bragg, which rang my chimes. I'm just saying.
It's in the news down here.
Say again?
It's in the news
Carolina
down
knows.
here.
North Carolina knows.
There's 1,500 from Fort Bragg that are on standby currently,
Okay,
waiting to be deployed.
And they pulling their heads,
So-
scratching their heads.
so I guess Alaska's first, and then these guys are on standby. Rich, I want to answer your questions. Your question before was what? What was the question you just said?
The question about bringing the National Guard in, the troops?
No. They're not even dealing with the National Guard, if you notice, anymore. They're dealing with the military. What you said, is there anything that they can't do? And I wanted to answer that. No. The way it is now, they can do whatever they want. Like Jim said earlier, who's to stop them? They're violating the amendments. Who's to stop them? The courts aren't. The Supreme Court's basically trying to appease him as best they can. So right now, he can do whatever he wants. Right now, he is a dictator.
But he's done so. He said so many stupid things recently. I think everybody's like scratching their head right now because he's like really, like showing. We all know who and what he is, but the mental capacity or lack of is becoming so apparent.
But as long as they keep allowing him to do what he wants to do, it really don't matter.
25th Amendment, please.
Well, Congress. That's Congress that's not doing an oversight on the president.
They're not doing nothing.
He's obviously gone too far.
The 25th Amendment, just to put that in perspective, is called for by the cabinet, the majority of the cabinet. His cabinet has got nothing but
and they're not going to
him.
do it. And they're not going to do it. And they're not going to do it. And we're going to end up in World War III because this man is crazy and ain't nobody muzzling his butt.
Let's catch this hand, because we know what we're dealing with. We know what we got. Derek, what's up?
Yeah, someone brought up like some of the ICE agents, coming in doing an honest job. I don't think we're going to see that. But I want to preface my answer here with a question, and the question is: when we see the people protesting in Minneapolis, where are the counter protesters?
There aren't any.
There aren't any. There used to be a lot of them. And we're talking about, you had people from the Boogaloo Boys, you had people from the Three Percenters, you had people from the Oath Keepers, the Proud Boys, Patriot Front. Everybody's quiet now. You don't hear anything from them. And you know why? Because they have jobs. They're wearing uniforms. They're wearing Border Patrol uniforms. They have jobs now. It's a dream job for them. They have been licensed to literally terrorize the people that they've hated all along. It's a dream job for them. That's all I have.
So let's catch a couple of the comments because our time is getting tight. Donald Coleman says, I wonder what or how one of those agents would feel if one of their family members got killed by one of their agents. It may be heading that way, Donald. It may be heading that way. And our quiet storm, Kyle is chiming in once again. The response may depend on how the agent feels about the particular family member. Families are estranged over politics these days. They may not care any more than when others are killed.
And yet they could.
And they had it coming. They could have the they have it coming attitude can rage. Well, Caroline Levitt, who is the White House spokesperson, or what I forget her official title, she
Press
had
secretary.
Press secretary.
Yeah.
The mother of her nephew got detained, and she was totally indifferent by it.
She's not with Caroline Levitt's brother anymore. They're not together anymore.
Correct, but they're still connected by a child that's her blood family.
The child was left here though, so she didn't care if this lady was taken because the child was left here.
Correct. Which is the point that Kyle was making. You know, when you're talking about family and whatnot, and the line in the sand being politics, like they say, Christmases and Thanksgivings over the last year or so is a whole lot different when you got people on different sides of the aisle. As much as we want to focus on very specific law enforcement related matters, we always find ourselves circling back to this same discussion. And it's not that we are in our feelings about anything. All of us, every one of us knows the impact of what's going on, how it reflects on local law enforcement that are trying to do it the right way. And the memory that's going to be long in the heads of the people, long after this is done, long after ICE is gone, and all this stuff is kind of squashed down. If we get back there, the memory is going to be the local law enforcement officers that do the job day in and day out. How do we reclaim that validation and that trust? Man, it is 4:27. We have gotten through 3 topics and 3 videos. I give a love to all you all behind that. Yes. I appreciate each and every one of you, and it was wonderful that we were able to hear so many perspectives and the reason why this group was brought together. And when we add someone to it is because they bring with them a knowledge, skill set, and understanding and a perspective to try to share with the public. We're not trying to put anybody against anybody else, but we do need to work on our critical thinking skills, and that only happens through conversation and dialogue. That being said, D, you got something good to carry us out with? I know you probably weren't expecting it.
Nah, always do. Nah, you can't catch me like that. Don't even try it.
Damn, he says you yelled at him again.
I yelled. I just used the volume God gave me. He keep acting grown, but still on my Wi-Fi.
Man, whatever.
He can move out when he learn how to move up.
All right, let's keep the peace today.
Don't trip. Only thing lower than them grades is
Boy, you out here writing tickets like you own the place?
Just doing my job, ma'am.
Son, you look like a rent-a-cop that got left on layaway.
That's cold, ma'am.
Cold? That's a light breeze. Son, you out here trying to look tough, but you built like a refrigerator with arms. Don't puff your chest at me.
Ma'am.
Don't ma'am me. You got them baby cheeks and thinking you intimidating. Boy, I've been... Now listen here, big man. You knocked on my door like you paying the mortgage. You don't pay no bills here, do you?
No, ma'am.
Then quit knocking like the IRS, all right?
Yes,
ma'am. And why your vest so tight? You look like a can of busted biscuits. Go on, take a deep breath before you pop a seat. You ain't writing me no ticket, baby. I've been driving longer than you've been alive.
Ma'am, you were going 40 in a 25.
And you were born slow, so what's your excuse?
Ma'am, go ahead and tell them what you just told me.
I said, stop the truth like they lost the custody battle for your ankles.
Oh, come on.
That hoodie, it's hanging on for dear life like a hairline at 25. Boy, get a mirror.
Yo. I can hold my gun like this. Law.
A can of busted biscuits, y'all. A can of busted biscuits.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Share that with us, man.
Hey, D, you forgot to say no old person was hurt in any of those.
Ladies and gentlemen, you saw the response of real police officers in that situation, because if there'd been some of these pretend folks that we got running under federal authority, that goes very, very different.
Sorry, D. What do you call those people? Are they like vacation? What are them officers?
Lunch money.
Lunch money victims.
Lunch money. That one.
Lunch money victim. Darren, you want to carry us out, man?
Yeah. Well, listen. Let me first of all thank you, Will, for leading us. Thank you for your participation. I just wanted to sit back and just look at the show today and hear certain things. But thank you guys for your participation. Y'all even pulled Jerry up in there. Jerry started getting a little excited over there. Doing sign language.
It's been a mad week, guys. I'm sorry.
You know, talking in tongues and everything else over there. But and you're right, Jerry, because sometimes we use language that you don't understand, so you have to get understanding, because you're not the only one that don't understand. We have a whole civilian population that's listening to us that they don't understand. So thanks for even asking those questions, because if you don't remind us, we won't even think about it.
That's right.
I know, because y'all speak that language, and I'm like, I'm an outcast. I don't know.
Right, because we understood everything that was said, but we forgot there's people don't understand what we just said. So thank you anyway. Everybody, thank you for your participation. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said. Be careful with this snowstorm that's approaching the Northeast. I don't know. I know it's going to be in DC. Cause we looked that up and they're getting like 10 inches. No, I'm sorry. It was 10 inches when we looked at it earlier today. We just looked at it again and it said 19 to 23 inches.
Oh my God. That's in DC, Rev?
Yeah, Maryland, DC, Virginia area. Yep.
That place is gonna be shut down. They shut down with 2 inches of snow. I was stationed there. I know what it's like.
I'm gonna shut down McDonald's for you, Rich. Don't worry about it.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
So y'all be careful out there. I know in our area, I know they were talking about it with Mark. I think Mark said 8 to 15 inches. So it's a big, depending on which way the storm is going, but you'll be careful out there. I guess that's it. Anybody have anything before I go?
Pray us out, baby. I need it.
AC put his hand up.
Yeah, we have a winter storm warning also.
Yeah.
AC,
North Carolina, it's gonna snow down there.
And listen, Jerry, don't entertain that mess, Jerry. Don't entertain that mess. Entertain when we get off the air.
I know we never really saw snow.
No, you don't get to do us like that, because we got to deal with ice and sleet down here. Y'all just got fluffy snow up there.
Ice and sleet.
Ice and sleet.
Let me tell you what, quick. Today it was 48. It felt like a heat wave. I loved every second of it.
Exactly.
53 here today. 53.
I'll take 20 inches of snow.
Let us pray, because y'all talking garbage. Let us pray. God our Father, we thank you for allowing us to come together. We thank you for every person that joined us, and even those who are listening to us, those who are on Facebook Live. We thank you for their participation. Thank you for them joining us each and every Thursday. We ask that God you will watch over us, and those who are traveling, we're praying for traveling mercy and traveling grace. We are lifting up Ursula Green today, knowing that God you're able to touch her body, heal her body. We're lifting up Deirdre Williams today. We're asking God you will continue to heal her body. We're asking prayers for JT and Orlando, Cheech, and Anna. Lord God, have your way in their lives. Bless my mother. Bless my mother-in-law. Keep them as only you can do. Be with those who are going to California, and traveling mercy to and from. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.